These are the 5 things that you need to know if you're considering joining a boxing gym. And the last one is the most important. Number 1, bring your own boxing gloves and skipping rope. Some gyms will have boxing gloves that you can just use, but ultimately you don't want to be using old, battered, sweaty boxing gloves worn by other people. And it also just saves the awkwardness of asking to use boxing gloves if you haven't got any. Same for the skipping rope as well. Most boxing gyms will have skipping ropes that you can use, but it's not always guaranteed that they have them. Number 2, make sure you have a gum shield. Realistically, if you're new, you're not going to be sparring straight away. You'd have to train there for a prolonged period, improve your skills before you start sparring, but get in the habit of bringing your gum shield, because when you are ready to spar, if you haven't got a gum shield, you cannot spar. Number 3, each boxing session can be different, but they all seem to have the same sort of structure, especially at an amateur boxing gym. You'll go in, you'll skip for a few rounds, you'll do a few rounds of shadow boxing, then everyone's going to jump on the bag. You'll have your own bag, or you'll potentially share with somebody else depending on how busy the class is and how many bags they have. So whilst everyone's doing some bag work, the coach will then call people out. The coach will then take people on the pads for the specific rounds whilst everyone else is on the bag. Everyone will tend to get around maybe 2 rounds depending on how busy the gym is. So at the end of the session then, it usually gets split off into 2 sections. One, you'll have the people sparring. This is more experienced fighters or people that have been training for a while and are just looking to start sparring. Number 4, boxing clubs are like family. Yes, from the outside, it might seem very intimidating. You might be very scared to join, but when you do actually join, you do actually start training, you've consistently been going for a few weeks, you'll meet some very, very good people in the meantime. Number 5, and in my opinion, one of the most important things that you should do before just showing up to a boxing class or a new boxing club, it's very, very important that if you can, reach out to the boxing coach before. Drop them a message, try and find them on Instagram, try and find them on Facebook, whatever it is, just try and reach out to them and just ask them, is it possible for me to train at this time period? It's super respectful to do this, and you get to introduce yourself before you've even gone to the class. If you can't reach out to them for some reason, that's absolutely fine. What I'd recommend is that when you do go to the class, find the coach before you just start joining in with the session. When you go into the boxing club, that should be the first thing you're thinking of. I need to try and find the coach here, introduce myself, and ask them if I can train. You don't want to just not introduce yourself and start training without even asking if you can train. The coach will always say yes, no problem. He might just want to get to know you, ask you a few questions, and it's very respectful to actually speak to them before you start training. If this was helpful, drop a like, drop a comment, and subscribe to the channel.